Hey everybody, this is Andy Young with Treeline Research. And on Friday, Ray Stestecchio from End of the Day with Ray put on a challenge to the print industry media and analysts to share their views on the impact of AI on the printing industry. So I'm going to accept that challenge and just share a couple of thoughts with you from my perspective, which is primarily from the point of view of using print as a means of communicating information. So customer communications, your mail, or at least the stuff that used to show up in your mailbox. AI is, well, I guess the first point I want to make is it's obviously a giant shiny pebble for everybody. And anybody that was watching the market last week and what happened on Wall Street, where the big news was, well, AI is going to replace software. Scott Brinker from Chief Martech wrote a big article about how basically software as a service was dead, that it was all going to be taken over by AI. And if anybody in the printing industry was paying attention to that, particularly the customer communications side of the print industry, that should have been a huge wake up call. The game is changing. And often what I find is when I look at LinkedIn in the morning and I see those folks that I know from the printing industry, they're all saying the same thing. They are screaming into the echo chamber saying, print is great. People love print. People love the tangible aspects of print. But the problem is it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the reality of the decline of volume in print. You know, a lot of people in the software and the vendors will say, well, we're going to use AI to improve our workflow, to improve customer onboarding. They'll say things like, we're going to use it for personalization and improve efficiency. Again, all those things are likely true, but it doesn't solve the volume problem. The number one thing that I don't hear the industry say about AI is that it's going to increase demand. I never hear the industry say, hey, consumers really want more stuff in their mailbox, or businesses are scrambling to spend more money on postage. Because after all, what is mail? It's print primarily. So where is the demand? Where is AI increasing the demand for printed communications? I don't see it. And the evidence doesn't suggest that it's actually happening. In fact, it suggests that the opposite is true. And so I think AI for the printing industry is really just a giant Trojan horse. If an industry has to continue to explain why it's relevant to the marketplace, it's already lost the narrative. The default is already digital. The default way for customers to interact and communicate with their financial services firm, their bank, their insurance company is digital today already. And the reaction that we're getting from the printing industry is really about just continuing to proclaim its relevance in a marketplace that's moved on. And I believe that that transformation is only going to be accelerated by AI. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. Print is not going to go away. It's just going to consolidate around a handful of very large suppliers, much like it has in Europe, particularly in the UK. And I hope that my thoughts on AI is helpful. Thanks, Ray.